What if everything you feared losing, you were never truly meant to keep? What if the anxiety you carry every single day, the worry about your job, your relationships, your reputation, was entirely optional, not just manageable? Optional. 2,000 years ago, a slave sat in chains and wrote down a philosophy so powerful that emperors used it to rule empires. That slave's name was Epictetus. And today, his words, along with the wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, are going to change the way you see your entire life. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will have a framework for an unbreakable mind, one that no circumstance, no person, and no failure can ever take from you. The dichotomy of control. The single most important idea in all of Stoic philosophy is this: some things are in your control, and some things are not. Sounds simple, right? But almost no one actually lives by this principle. Epictetus opens his handbook, the Enchiridion, with these words: some things are in our control, and others not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and whatever are our own actions. Things not in our control are body, reputation, command, and whatever are not our own actions. Your reputation, not in your control. Your body, not fully in your control. The economy, the weather, what other people think of you, whether you get the promotion, whether your flight is delayed, none of it. Not yours to control. But here is what is yours: your thoughts, your judgments, your effort, your response. Most of us spend 90% of our energy trying to control the 90% of life that we cannot control. And we ignore the 10%, our own inner world, that we actually hold complete dominion over. The Stoics called this the dichotomy of control, and mastering it is the first step to an unbreakable mind. When something goes wrong today, ask yourself, is this within my control? If yes, act. If no, release it. That is not weakness. That is wisdom. The practice of memento mori. Here is a practice that may sound dark at first, but stay with me, because it is actually one of the most liberating things you will ever do. The Stoics practice what they called memento mori, Latin for, remember that you will die. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in the world during his reign as Roman emperor, would begin his mornings by reflecting on his own mortality. Not with dread, but with clarity. He wrote in his journal, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Why does this matter? Because when we forget that our time is finite, we waste it. We argue over small things. We hold grudges. We postpone the conversations that matter. We delay the life we actually want to live. Memento mori is not about fear. It is about focus. When you truly internalize that today could be your last, you stop tolerating the trivial, and you start investing in the essential. Try this tonight. Before you go to sleep, ask yourself, if today were my last day, would I have been proud of how I spent it? Not perfect, just proud. That one question, practiced consistently, will reorder your entire life. Amor fati, love your fate. Now we go deeper, not just accepting what you cannot control, but actually loving it. This is the concept of amor fati, love of fate. Friedrich Nietzsche made this phrase famous, but the Stoics lived it long before him. Epictetus, who was born a slave and had his leg deliberately broken by his master, did not spend his life bitter and broken. He became one of the most influential philosophers in history. Why? Because he refused to define himself by what happened to him. He defined himself by how he responded. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire that was constantly at war, plagued by disease, and threatened by betrayal. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every obstacle in your life, the rejection, the failure, the betrayal, the loss, is not evidence that the universe is against you. It is raw material. It is the weight that builds your strength, the fire that forges your character. Amor fati does not mean you have to enjoy pain. It means you choose to use it. You take everything life throws at you, and you say, good. What does this make possible? The evening audit, a daily Stoic practice. Philosophy without practice is just entertainment. So let us talk about how you actually build this unbreakable mind, starting tonight. Seneca, one of the wealthiest men in Rome and a Stoic philosopher, kept a nightly ritual. Every evening before sleep he would examine his day. He wrote, "I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said, hiding nothing from myself, passing nothing by." He asked himself 3 questions. Where did I go wrong today? Where did I do well? How can I improve tomorrow? This is not self-criticism. This is self-mastery. The person who never examines their life never improves. And the person who never improves is simply repeating the same year over and over, calling it a lifetime. Start a journal. Tonight, just 3 sentences. What challenged me today? How did I respond? And what would the best version of me have done instead? Over time, this practice rewires your brain. You become someone who is no longer surprised by difficulty, because you have rehearsed your response to it. You become someone who grows stronger with each trial, not more fragile. The Stoic in the modern world. And closing. You might be thinking, this is ancient philosophy. What does it have to do with my life, my problems, my modern world? Everything. We live in an era of outrage, comparison, and constant distraction. Social media is engineered to make you feel like your life is not enough. The news is designed to keep you in a state of fear and reactivity, and most people have outsourced their peace of mind to circumstances they cannot control. The Stoics did not have smartphones, but they understood human nature perfectly. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. That is the secret. Not the right job, not the right relationship, not the right number of followers or the right amount of money. The strength you are looking for is already inside you. It has always been there. Today, when someone cuts you off in traffic, that is a test. When your boss criticizes your work, that is a test. When plans fall apart and nothing goes right, that is a test. And every time you pause, breathe, and choose your response deliberately, instead of reacting blindly, you pass the test. You grow. You build the mind that nothing can break. The unbreakable mind is not built in a single moment. It is built in 10,000 small moments, each time you choose discipline over impulse, perspective over panic, and growth over grievance. So here is your challenge for this week. Practice the dichotomy of control. When something upsets you, ask, is this in my control? If not, release it. If yes, act on it. Do this every single day for 7 days, and watch how your world begins to change. If this video sparks something in you, drop a comment below and tell me, which Stoic principle hit you the hardest today? Your comment might be exactly what someone else needs to read. If you found value in this video, please hit the like button. It helps this channel reach more people who need this message. And if you want more content like this, deep dives into philosophy, mental strength, and the tools for an extraordinary life, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Thank you for watching. Remember, you cannot control the storm, but you can always control the sailor. Until next time, stay strong, stay stoic.